What's up, everybody? Griffey here with part 2 of our list of the top 10 worst superhero films of all time. Will Smith, be warned, your name will be in my mouth.
Effective immediately, I'm going to rid our planet of all nuclear weapons.
Number 7, Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. If what Superman was looking for in this movie is peace, then what I want is all-out war. So we spent a lot of great time and have wonderful memories with Richard Donner and Christopher Reeve's Superman, right? You have all of the actors back doing kind of what they had done in the movies before, but worse and with no effort. This is a truly phoned-in film. No one has any joy. No one is bringing anything extra to their role. In one of the saddest returns in comic book movie history, we even bring back Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor in this kind of antiquated and washed way.
Your Uncle Lex has had nothing on his awesome mind since he's been incarcerated except one thing.
Destroy Superman!
We saddle him with John Cryer as Ducky Luthor, riding around with the yellow mohawk, just kind of being a comical foil. He's kind of a DC Jar Jar Binks, just kind of floating around the movie.
Do they call him Ducky Luthor?
No, it's a 16 Candles joke.
I just want to make sure.
Superman decides unilaterally at the United Nations, I'm gonna come and take all of your nuclear weapons and there's not a thing you can do about it. He puts them in a big net in the sky and launches them into the sun, right? That seems interesting. If your movie then becomes humans dealing with how do we feel about Superman once he starts taking unilateral actions, that's an interesting place for our last Christopher Reeve Superman movie. Instead, what we do is Lex Luthor gets a piece of Superman's hair, some kind of primordial goo, throws it into one of the nuclear bombs, and Nuclear Man is made from Superman's hair and this putty. Superman spends the rest of the movie fighting a nuclear-powered American gladiator whose great superpower is that his fingernails grow a little bit. And then you pair that with the fact that at this point in the franchise, you can see that there is almost no money or to give about the effects. When once Superman flying was thrilling, it is so comically horrible now. There's a scene when Nuclear Man essentially pounds Superman into the earth of the moon, right? Into the dirt of the moon like he's a whack-a-mole. And there's a moment where you're sitting there and you're like, this is why people turn. This is why we turn so hard. There's a scene, in fact, when Nuclear Man goes and breaks part of the Great Wall of China, but just like a little bit so one person falls, and Superman's eyes somehow have the power to just put the bricks back in perfect order? Like he's some kind of 3D printer? A Quest for Peace is such a singular failure from a franchise that has real pedigree and had real love. And I think that's what puts it on this list, right? Is the absolute tremendous downhill slide of this franchise to where it ended.
The ring never makes a mistake.
This time it did.
Number 6, Green Lantern. When you make a Green Lantern movie, it should be awe-inspiring. Put your imagination right up there for us to see. Their rings allow them to create constructs, right? These constructs are literally only limited by what you can imagine. And this movie openly, proudly declares there was not one open imagination in the entire process of Green Lantern. We see Green Lantern swords and Gatling guns and rocks. One of the most egregious scenes in the movie is when a helicopter crash lands into a dinner party, and Hal Jordan, in one of his first acts as a newly come to Earth Green Lantern, turns the helicopter into a Hot Wheel car. And I remember being a young adult man and saying, how can people not make it in Hollywood? How is there anyone who can't make it, including myself? And this is the kind of dog shit we have to sit in the theater and watch. How many people had to approve that and go through with that? And some animator got that on his desk and went, what, really? And they go, now, draw, and he goes, ah. Why did they not just have costumes? You spent millions of dollars on this movie. How hard would it have been to make a costume, a flight suit, something? The really offensive one is the cartoon Zorro mask. That is an inexplicably horrendous choice that every time you see it, you're like, why is this movie still playing on my TV?
Hal?
The only person who might hate this movie more than everyone who saw it is Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is one of those actors who is exceptionally good at one thing, and that is not being earnest. The kind of thing he gets to do in Deadpool, he is neutered from doing in this film. What I'm watching is a guy who's insanely handsome and covered in a green cartoon suit. This was all on his path to get Deadpool, and thank God he found that because he is wonderful in that superhero movie. But it is kind of stunning to imagine anyone could watch him in this movie and imagine he would ever get to be a comic book character again. It's that bad.
Harley Quinn, nice to meet ya. Love your perfume. What is that? The stench of death?
Number 5, Suicide Squad. I've never seen a movie that's so convinced it's the cool kid, but is wrong at every single turn, right? There's a phrase called the cinema of cool. That's what Suicide Squad thinks it is. But really what it is the guy at a barbecue that's telling you it's cool while it wears a tank top, and you're like, why have you not bathed? Why are you blowing a Swisher Sweet in my face?
I could tell you meant that.
We should just get this out of front. The worst crime that the Suicide Squad foisted on all of us comic book loving moviegoers was whatever the hell their thought was with Jared Leto's Joker. I remember when they announced the casting of Jared Leto, my mind melted. I was like, he's gonna be the best Joker of all time. I was convinced he's perfect for the role. And the layers and layers of dog shit that David Ayer heaped upon him like such terrible makeup and low rent tattoos. Juggalos, I'm sorry. I love you, I hope you have great lives. No one wants to be you. That's not a thing we do in society. So why did this movie do that? I'm mad. It's extra hard for Jared Leto because we went from Nicholson to Heath Ledger, whatever the hell Jared Leto thought he was doing, and then Joaquin Phoenix. So you just, this is the worst roller coaster ride of all time.
Every time I put this on, somebody dies.
And?
I like putting it on.
It's a bold strategy for your movie to fill your movie with characters that we kind of know, and even the ones we do, you're like, we're gonna make them so absolutely hateable. Will Smith's portrayal as Deadshot is one of the worst decisions ever in a movie. Because he had a daughter once, we're supposed to give a shit that he's killed like 600 plus people, and now he's in jail just because his daughter kept him from shooting at Batman? Oh, great, I'm super stoked on that, thanks man. Oh, at the end when Harley Quinn was killing innocent soldiers, and all of a sudden you had a chance to take her down, but you don't because honor amongst thieves. Sick, great emotional redemption. It is an insane choice to introduce every one of these characters and make them so utterly despicable. And not despicable in a fun, hey, I'm a criminal way like Harley Quinn, but just in a, why?
You don't kill as many people as I've killed and still sleep like a kitten if you feel shit like love.
This movie essentially devolves into your classic Ghostbusters but lamer, right? Like somehow they turned their two evil, ancient, interdimensional god creatures into sillier, less threatening versions of a marshmallow. And then you put them in a movie where we're essentially gonna fight them with handguns and a bat and boomerangs. Like, is this something the military literally couldn't handle? No one accidentally shot a rocket at him just to see? It's unthought out is actually giving it too much credit. It's insultingly unfinished. That's the best way to describe Suicide Squad. If this movie didn't absolutely nail it in their casting of Amanda Waller and Harley Quinn, this would probably be truly the worst superhero film of all time. That's it for part 2, everyone. And remember, I implore you, watch literally anything else than these movies.